Parsons look for answers after a third dog is found killed in less than a year. Plus, long lines at the Pittsburgh School District's COVID testing site is leaving parents frustrated. And the city of Carthage honors some local heroes who saved the life of a deputy.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police in Parsons, Kansas say another dog has been killed, the city's third in less than a year. This is KOAM News at 10. Officers say this dog named Draco was found on December 29th, wrapped in a blanket by a small bridge near Felix and 7th Streets. A veterinarian who examined Draco says there was severe trauma to the dog's abdomen and around the neck from a choke chain that was on it, indicating that a human did it. This is the third dog in Parsons to be killed and the fourth to be attacked. Police say a dog named Blue was shot and killed, then another named Zeus was shot but survived. On December 3rd, you might recall, the dog of a Parsons police officer, a dog named Ranger, was found brutally killed. A $34,000 reward is being offered in that case. However, authorities say no leads have come of it, which makes them think this is the work of a lone suspect. Parsons police are encouraging all dog owners in the city to keep an eye on their pets while they're outside. Joplin police today released new details in the shooting death of a teenager. Todd Mays is in custody, charged with the first-degree murder of his 17-year-old daughter. The Jasper County coroner says the victim's name is Prayer Nicholson. However, friends and family knew her as Prayer Waddell. The shooting happened at a home on South Connor in Joplin. Police report indicates the suspect and victim got into a verbal argument on the upper floor and that the girl threw a glass bottle at Mays. They say Mays went downstairs, got a handgun, then confronted his daughter on the staircase and shot her once in the abdomen. She died at the hospital. Authorities charge a woman with attempted murder for stabbing her boyfriend in Arma, Kansas. On Saturday, officers were called to the 700 block of South 4th Street by a man claiming to have been stabbed by his girlfriend, this woman, Kristen Kramer. When officers arrived, they found a man with multiple stab wounds from a kitchen knife. He did survive. Police arrested Kramer at the scene. She's charged with second-degree attempted murder and aggravated battery. Checking in with Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Hey Dow, pretty good day actually for us today. We had plenty of sunshine, temperatures fantastic. 57, cool start at 27, average high is 44 degrees, so a good chunk above where we should be for this time of the year. Still looks pretty good, some mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming in, so let's call it partly cloudy skies tonight, partly cloudy skies for us tomorrow. We are watching a storm system out to the west, which will start to affect us by the weekend. Now until then, we look okay, mid to upper 40s. Most of us will drop back mid-30s later on tonight. Southerly winds kind of keeping those temperatures up just a little bit. So by morning, 36, 45 by 9, 52 by noon. A little breezy tomorrow. High temp right around 56 degrees during the afternoon. Snow chances in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you then. Pittsburgh School District is testing students who have come into contact with any COVID positive person on campus. But not all parents say it's worth the time. The parking lot at Pittsburgh Middle School was lined with rows of cars, all with students needed to be testing for COVID-19. Kids who are tested at the school can either return home with a positive test or return to class with a negative.
I knew it was going to be an hour and a half plus, and I have 3 other kids to get ready for USD 250, so I was like, there is no way. So I decided today, called the nurse. We're going to write out the next 3 days. I don't see how parents can come and stay in a line for 2 and 3 hours when they have to work. It just doesn't make sense.
School district says their Test to Stay program is optional for families. Those who choose not to participate do have the option to quarantine. Some area school districts have decided to temporarily return to virtual learning as cases spread. Miami Public Schools will be virtual for the rest of the week, as will Grove and Carthage. The Neosho, Missouri School District is canceling classes through the week because of a high rate of cases among staff. Other school districts say they're monitoring their situations. At a council meeting tonight, the city of Carthage recognized some local heroes who helped save the life of a Jasper County deputy. Chris Corbett suffered a heart attack in November. Tonight, some co-workers at the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, emergency dispatchers, the Carthage Fire Department, and Mercy McCune-Brooks EMTs were honored for recognizing and responding to Corbett's symptoms.
You know, like money doesn't pay to save a life, you know. You just need to turn around and do good deeds and, try to pay it back somehow. Whether it's a little token of appreciation, like sending pizza to the firehouse or something like that. We just need to do something.
City also honored members of the Carthage Police Department for their help. Coming up, a new warning from the CDC to not travel to Canada. Plus, the nation's top health officials testify before the Senate about the fight against the coronavirus. South Korea and Japan say North Korea has fired what appeared to be a ballistic missile into its eastern sea. The launch came as the UN Security Council met in New York to discuss the country's growing weapons threat. North Korea hasn't tested any long-range missiles that could directly threaten the U.S. since 2017. A warning for Americans to avoid visiting our neighbors to the north. Both the CDC and the State Department caution Americans who plan on taking trips to Canada. State Department issued a level 4 do not travel advisory alongside the CDC's designation of Canada as a level 4 very high risk country. This is due to an increase of COVID-19 cases from the spread of the Omicron variant. As COVID cases and hospitalizations surge, senators on Capitol Hill had some tough words for the Biden administration officials who are at the front lines of the U.S. battle against the coronavirus. Reporter Michael George has the latest from New York.
With COVID hospitalizations at an all-time high in the U.S., senators pressed federal health officials on what they're doing to control the virus.
At times, it doesn't seem like anyone's in charge.
It is a very wily virus. It has fooled everybody all the time. From the time it first came in to Delta to now Omicron, very unpredictable, and we're doing the best we possibly can.
Health officials responded to criticism that COVID tests are in short supply.
We're continuing to bring tests to the American people. As a result, the president has announced, and we're in the process of procuring the 500 million tests, which every American household will be able to order and have shipped directly to their house.
Across the country, hospitals are also facing a dangerously low blood supply, prompting the American Red Cross to declare the first ever national blood crisis.
Our inventories are at the lowest that they have been in over a decade.
Red Cross Medical Director Dr. Baya Lasky says COVID is preventing many people from donating, and there are fewer blood drives for those willing to donate.
Are we at a point where doctors are having to make some difficult decisions because of the limited supply?
They are having to decide how that blood will be used and what is most immediate need, and sometimes that's a tough call.
And in Chicago, a 14-year-old has joined the battle against COVID. Eli Kustin built a computer program to search online for home tests, helping visitors to his website find available tests and have them shipped directly to their home. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The website to locate home tests is findcovidtest.org. Researchers say long-term exposure to air pollution may heighten the risk of COVID-19 infection, especially for people age 55 and older. The study, published in the journal Occupational and Environmental Medicine, found particulate matter like dust, soot, and smoke is the biggest concern because long-term exposure to air pollution can lead to inflammation and compromised immunity. There's more evidence that olive oil is a good ingredient for your health. Scientists say consuming a half tablespoon of olive oil or more per day may lower the risk of death from heart disease, cancer, and neurodegenerative diseases. The decades-long study in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found replacing butter, mayonnaise, or dairy with olive oil could have similar benefits. Rolls-Royce and Bentley posted record sales of their ultra-luxury cars last year. Rolls-Royce reported in 2021 it sold its highest number of cars ever in 1 year. Bentley also posted record sales, selling 31% more cars and SUVs than the year before. Lamborghini's CEO said his company also set a record last year, although they have not yet released their annual report. A little bit later, how a new office is enabling the Freeman Allergy Clinic to better serve its patients.
Plus, snow chances increasing for the weekend. We're going to check that out coming up. Definitely turned out to be a nice Tuesday for us today. Temperatures pretty good as we went into the upper 50s for afternoon highs, and we're going to stay pretty nice over the next several days. Storm system by the weekend. It's looking more and more obvious, like we're going to get some snow from this system. We're having a nice little break now, but we're going to have to watch that system. Colder air works in with it. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That's KOAM. newsnow.com. Looks good. This is a live shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see our high temps today. Most of us mid to upper 50s. We should only be topping out into the mid 40s, kind of like where we're at right now. We'll drop back into the mid 30s later on tonight. Southerly winds kind of helping us out today. When you get nice little southerly fetch of winds, usually your temperatures start to warm up just a bit. Looks good. 7th and range line, pretty much clear skies, but some mid and upper level clouds have been increasing, and this is what we are going to see as we go through the overnight hours tonight. So let's call it partly cloudy skies tonight and tomorrow. Weak wave to our south, slide across the Gulf states, will not affect us. Let's go west. Weak wave Thursday will shoot north to east of us, but look at the jet stream here. You can see it goes up through the Pacific Northwest and then drops down. So we get these systems that kind of jump over the Rockies and then head in, but right behind it, this system will track a little farther south and then dip in by the time we head into the weekend, and it's that system we got to keep our eyes on late Friday into Saturday. Tonight's fine, mid-30s. Wednesday looks good. We're going to go into the mid to upper 50s. Here's your forecast. 36 to start, 52 by noon, high temp at 56. Southerly winds at about 5 to 15. So a little breezy, not bad. We may get gusts near 20 at times. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies. Looks pretty good, lower 30s. Thursday, steady. We make it right back up into the mid 50s for highs. Let's jump to Friday. Clouds increase. Here comes our storm system. This is 7:30 p.m. on Friday. By Friday night, we'll start to get some rain in here, but by Saturday morning, here's 3 a.m., snow starts to mix. In fact, very heavy on the Missouri side, and then this back side of the storm rotates through as we go through the daytime hours on Saturday. This will be a very, well, we're not going to say heavy, we'll call them moderate, but very wet snow. So the big flakes, and then this will continue to develop. And it looks like, I mean, it could dump a foot of snow across southeastern parts of Missouri. So very heavy snows, especially off toward the east. But we want to see how this system tracks so we can figure out exactly how much we are going to get. The farther east you live, the best shot for accumulations. I think most of us have a good shot to get accumulations a little bit lower as you go off toward the west, but this is something we need to focus in on over the next few days because it does look like we are going to get accumulating snows as we head into the weekend. So that means enjoy the 50s over the next couple days. Most of Friday looks pretty good, and then snow chances for the weekend.
MLK Day, maybe it'll still be around for that. I don't know.
Yeah, and if you're heading to Arrowhead on Sunday, it's going to be fine. It's just going to be cold.
All right, very good. Thanks. Allergies impact everyone differently, so the Freeman Allergy Clinic is trying to make treatment more accessible. The clinic is expanding its services to offer access to allergy shots and other services 5 days a week. The changes are possible because the clinic is now in a new office, which officials say allows them to better treat patients.
And then as far as other food allergies, such as, milk, egg white, wheat, which, by the way, a true wheat allergy is not the same thing as gluten sensitivity, but we test for that. And then also, of course, peanut, tree nut, almonds, walnut, those kind of things.
The Freeman Allergy Clinic's new office is at 702 East 34th Street in Joplin. A Pitt State automotive technology student is going to put his skills to the test in a global competition. Ian Gregor will represent the U.S. in the World Skills Automotive Technology Competition. It's a global competition with more than 60 content areas, and several people who trained at Pitt State have competed in the past. This year, Ian will head to Shanghai, China to show his skills.
So the competition is actually decided by the competitors, by the competitors' countries and representatives from each country. And it changes every year. The vehicles we work on change every year. We don't know the vehicles we're going to be working on.
The competition in Shanghai will take place in October. Coming up in sports, the Colgan girls aim to stay undefeated in a CNC matchup with Galena, and Webb City aims for a little revenge against Joplin in their COC League opener. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Missouri Southern Lions are back in action tonight, hitting the road for an MIAA doubleheader against Northeastern State. On the women's side, the Lions are aiming to avoid a third straight loss after falling to Northwest Missouri and Missouri Western last week. Southern leads this one all night to win 78-62. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists tonight for Lacey Stokes. As for the men, they needed a Stan Scott lay-in with about 30 seconds to go to beat the Riverhawks 72-71. Lawson Jenkins leads the Lions with 19 points. Well, Joplin and Webb City met in the Kaminsky Classic Championship over the weekend. Joplin won an instant classic 55-52 in the final minute to win their home tournament. And just 3 days later, same two teams, same floor. Eagles and Cardinals meet tonight in their COC League opener. And early on, always right. Great look to Terrence Gibson for the first points of the night. Going the other way now, Caden Turner pushing the pace. Turner, 12 in the first half, finished with 24 points, 10 rebounds. The second quarter, all right on the attack. He scores 6 in the second, 15 in the game. And Trey Rhodes for Webb City. This is one of his 2 threes in the quarter. It's a 1-point lead for the Cardinals at halftime. But to the third, look at this filth from always right. Behind the back, one hand, he gets 16. It's 40-40 going to the fourth. The game was so good, man. Here's Terrence Gibson stealing and dunking on the other end. Back and forth all night. We go to overtime. NOT here. Webb leads by 1. Big time score and the foul for Trey Rhodes. Rhodes gets 17 points, 9 rebounds. Cards up 4, and they would hold on. Webb City gets a little revenge against Joplin tonight, winning 60-57. The Galena Bulldogs are at home tonight, hosting a CNC doubleheader against Colgan. On the boys' side, Galena has been one of the best in the area to start the season. The Bulldogs are 6-1 and ranked 4th in the state in Class 3A. They aim to bounce back tonight after suffering their first loss on Friday to Frontenac. Starting in the first, Tyler Little, back there behind everybody, easy lay-in. Then in the second quarter, nobody steps up to guard Brett Sarwinski, and can't do that. Galena in control of this thing all night. We go to the third. Colgan trying to stay in the ball game. Aiden Fleming down low, spins, goes off the glass. Then in the fourth, Jalen Van Beesler connects from outside, but Galena too much. They win at 57-24 to get to 7-1 on the year. To the girls' game, Colgan 6-0, ranked number 2 in the state, trying to stay perfect against the Bulldogs. And in the first, Mia Sarwinski drives. Tough shot goes for Galena, but Colgan in the lead early. Second quarter, Gabby Riddell open in the corner. Colgan races out to a 33-7 lead. In the third, Bulldogs trying to make it a game. Michaela Newman from deep, but it's the Panthers on cruise control. Kind of like the other games this season to this point. Emily Imhoff, one of her 3 threes in the game. She scores 11. All Colgan. Panthers stay perfect, 65-26. The Georgia Bulldogs won the College Football Playoff National Championship last night in Indy. The Bulldogs beat Alabama 33-18 to claim their first national title since 1980. And despite the final score, winning by 15, they had worked for it. Alabama actually took a 5-point lead early in the fourth quarter. From there, though, the Bulldogs closed it out. Georgia went on to outscore Bama 20-9 in the final period, including this pick 6 here from Keely Ringo. So now the Bulldogs, national champs for the first time in 41 years, and they've set a new standard for the program moving forward.
The goal is moving forward is, to stay hungry and, not get complacent. That's the worst thing you could possibly do is get complacent. So our goal is, to continue on being chasing greatness in terms of, how we practice, the things we do, the players, even younger, older guys being great leaders. So I would say moving forward, we just got to continue everything we did this year and you just up it a level.
That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take time now to honor two local veterans, Tyler and Amy Schaefer. Tyler served in the U.S. Marine Corps and was stationed in Iraq. Amy served in the U.S. Army. Both of them are Joplin natives. And we salute Lance Corporal Tyler Schaefer and Private First Class Amy Schaefer, tonight's four state heroes. Researchers in England found the fossilized remains of an ichthyosaur. They say it's the largest and most complete of its kind discovered in the UK. Ichthyosaurs were large marine reptiles similar in shape to dolphins, but they grew up to 82 feet long. Yeah, pretty big. Known as sea dragons due to having large eyes and teeth, the creatures went extinct around 90 million years ago, give or take. The 30-foot long fossil is thought to be 180 million years old.
Give or take what, a million years? 5 million?
Yeah, it's close. It's like weather forecasting. You try to get in the neighborhood.
All right, well, in the neighborhood over the next few days, it looks pretty good, mid-50s. Watch your neighborhood this weekend. Snow chances increasing.
Final sports note.
I was going to talk about this during the sports segment, but that Joplin-Webb City game, had to go long on that because it was such a good one. But KU tops Iowa State tonight, 62-61 in a top 15 battle.
Very good. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.